Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Yoshi and Newton.
Happy to be here, Anna.
I'm so
And
happy that you are here.
yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. And uh, I was not familiar with your group before Hakim introduced you and your community to me. So then I went on YouTube and found that you have a very deeply connected sessions that you hold. And I saw Lisa, I saw others there. It's nice to be here, honored to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here. And we connected maybe a year ago. I asked you how it is in India. I wanted to go to India and to Kerala to spend a couple of months. Yeah, maybe we come back to that later on. My
Yeah,
my first question is, how did the book, the course, come into your life?
yeah. Like I said, the mother of all questions. It's uh, everyone has a core story, don't we? Mhm. Sometimes funny, sometimes weird. I was most of my adult life. I studied to be a journalist, and I was a professional working journalist. And so this was the year 2007, I guess. I was working in New Delhi as with one of the big media groups there. I was a features editor for the magazine there. And so we used to go to this flea market. The place is called Darya Ganj. They have shut it down long after that, but they had like miles of books on the street, at least 1 or 2 miles. That was incredible, unbelievable for me on either side of the road. So Sunday, they all open and all the books would be spread on the wayside, and we'd be like a bunch of happy like kids in a candy store. We would be going with bags, and because they came for very cheap prices. So, and one day I went and I was walking with the group, and then I saw this. mm, every time I remember this, I find it so incredible because there was a pile of one same book, blue book, paperback. In 2007, I don't think A Course in Miracles was ever seen in any bookstore because I used to frequent bookstores wherever I go, whichever town I'd go. I'd never seen a copy. I don't think I haven't even I hadn't even heard of this name or anything. But like, hundreds of books in a pile, and obviously I went close. I picked a copy, flipped through the pages, and I thought, ah, this is some kind of new Bible. I must check this out. It costs me $20, just 20 rupees, just as costly as a cup of tea. Uh, Today, the same book costs in India around $2,000. So you can imagine some mischievous angel put those pile over there. But you know what? It happens as it happens to most of us. I took it home and I started reading it, and immediately I felt ashamed that I bought this foolish, this gibberish. I was so angry. Imagine just $20 and I'm getting angry at a book. And I hid the book behind other books in the bookshelf so that nobody will see that. I think 5 more years of suffering made me ready for the book. 2012, when I was like ready for it. And I went into a sort of a personal professional crisis. Um, by the time I was invited by a filmmaker to write a movie for them, and I wrote, and the movie came out, it became a game changer in the industry. So suddenly I was looked upon as a new star in my state down south in Kerala. A new star in the movie industry who has written an amazing, a fresh screenplay and blah, 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 all that. This is 2009. So everyone said, uh, I have made it. And I believed. And I thought, like everyone else around me, I thought, it'll be like movies after movies after movies, and I'm going to become so rich and so famous. Because, I have this very fertile creative mind. So I could spin off stories like anything. So my dad was a painter artist. So I had it in my genes. And uh, not even a single film project happened after that till this day. 2009, that makes it like what, 15 years, 14 years, something. So you can imagine the kind of disappointment, and I was simply crumbled. I was, man becomes dust even while he's alive. And no one could explain, because the giants were coming for me. I would write for them. They would be so much excited about the stories, but projects won't take off. One or other silly reasons. And then, but I never, I could not surrender. But on one hand, in 2012, I got the Blue Book. And on the other hand, but I was not yet so serious about it. I knew the moment I was ready for the book second time, I knew that, oh God, this is my path, this is it, and all that. But we tried to serve two masters. So I thought I'd somehow make it big over there and also be a student. But that was not his plan at all. So I think it took almost 6 to 8 years for me to really put down my armor and sword. And till then I was fighting. I went on fighting, obviously suffering. And so financially I was broke. People started to wonder. It's like, one film wonder guy. He was once somebody and no longer anyone. So my family, they were my son, my partner, my friends, they were all, and especially then they saw me starting sharing this gibberish on Facebook, quoting a strange book called A Course in Miracles. And then they decided, oh, this guy's lost. He's gone. But that was my rebirth. And I think, like the master says, you take birth again, not from the womb of the mother, but from truth and spirit. Here we are. And to sum up this anecdote, I'm so happy that none of those films happened. I'm so happy that my plans did not work out. I'm so happy that he embraced me and he never let me go.
Yeah. A lot of us need a lot of pressure to actually start to open up and receive, right?
Obviously.
Obviously. So you said you started to share on Facebook about this strange book, A Course of Miracles. I take it that in India, the course is not widely known.
In those days, um, I mean, I was looking for companions and no one came. but I'm trying to remember this true life story of all these masters, including Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Once you open yourself to love, and it becomes so overwhelming to you, the human in you start looking for someone to talk this with. I couldn't find anyone. Like I said, even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great guru, when he met Vivekananda when he was young, Vivekananda was, his original name was Narendran. So when the guru saw the student, the young schoolboy, he said, "Where were you? I was waiting for you all these years." I waited for long, just not students. I would never dare to call myself a teacher. But I was looking for companions. And of course, they were not as, and these days we have so many course groups, but 2012, there were groups, but I was fumbling through this jungle and trying to find out who's who, what's what, a lot to scramble through, especially for a newbie student in India. So later on, I found out that there are many versions. Wow, why? I didn't understand back then. And then I saw several teachers, but this teacher, that teacher, they're not agreeing with each other. So I didn't know who to ask, where to go, and all that. So there were very few of them. They wrote back to me, and they were very helpful. Some of them sent me books, and thus started my. I was getting slowly, the courage was growing in me, because it's not unusual for one to think at times that, am I making a blunder? What am I doing with my life? How can I trust this book? even though you would be so overwhelmed by the book when you read, when you sit with it, and you will come to know that it is not a book at all. And you would know that this is a live transmission that is going on, even though the mind would give me a lot of temptations. Actually, there's another story. You won't believe. I know maybe you will believe, but the games of mind. When I told this to my group, they couldn't believe. For instance, one day, uh, every day, a few days, while I was waking up, something was whispering in me saying that, listen to the course in your phone. And then I ignored it for a few days, but it was persistent. So then one day I thought, okay, when I go for a walk, I'll do that. I opened the phone, and course audio was not on my phone. Okay, so then I got back. I had it on the external disk. I had 3 copies, print hard copy, in my shelf. I had the audio on external disk. I had the audio on this laptop and on phone. Now the phone was missing. I came to laptop, checked, it was missing. And I checked it on the external disk, it was missing. Then I looked at the shelf, all 3 books were missing. And then I recollected a month ago, while I was in Bangalore, I taken a bunch of books. The Blossom Books, there's a bookstall there. They have an arrangement. If you give them the books that you have read already, they would give you a coupon, and you can purchase other books with a 50% or something like that. So you only have to pay that much money. I had given away all 3 copies of my course. I had deleted all the audios. And I came to know of this only after a month. And you know what? I bought thrillers instead of A Course in Miracles. I went and bought thrillers by Joe Abercrombie and Martin and all those. And because I was writing a thriller novel, so I bought some thriller books and I gave away Course in Miracles.
Yeah,
But
that's
that was the day I got convinced.
yeah.
Then I knew, wow, ego is a genius. It can fool you so smartly. And I've never let go of the course since then. And then I called a friend in Bangalore. I said, look, 1 month ago, I did a foolish thing. Can you please go to Blossom Books and see if they have a copy there? I thought some fresh copy. He went there, got a book, put it on the post, and it came to me after 4 days. I opened the book and I saw that it was the very same copy I gave. My book was back. Anyway, these are the fun stories. Yeah.
The temptations of the ego, always fooling us. But we come back. Yeah. So you were looking for mighty companions. Did you find them in your city? Did you find them online? How did it happen for you?
I found them after 12 years. I mean, we were like around the world. I was in touch with people, but what about my neighborhood? What about my town, my place? Who speaks my language? So I went on posting on Facebook for almost 6 years. Usually, when I used to post my movie thing and all, it's like a ting, 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 ting. The ping would go on and people would come in. But this, nobody was interested. Friends went away. People started talking behind my back. Some even said, there were reports that came to me saying that, Josh, something's gone off. Please don't go to him. Please don't visit him. And so, but nothing deterred me. I mean, obvious. These were all obvious. I was also becoming mature slowly. And I was also growing in compassion bit by bit. I was not compassionate. I was very arrogant. Uh, even the word service, I hated it. Can you believe that? I would look down upon this idea called service. That was not for me. I was a creative guy and all that. Anyway, today I'm serving so happily. There are 10 of them. We call it the Course Commune. They're all from the same nativity, from Kerala, but they're living across the world. One is in Australia, one in UK, one in Dubai, a couple of them in Delhi, some in Bangalore. So 10, 11 of us are there. Every Sunday we meet on Google Meet and we have text sessions. And every second Saturday we have a special guest coming in and talking. I thought it would be encouraging for them. So tomorrow, we call it the Pilgrim of Light. Yeah, a friend from Brazil is coming. So, and every day over WhatsApp we share if they have questions, and every year we have an annual meet once a year, and so it's been a year now. The commune is 1 year old, and 10 of them are. I think they're getting rooted. Some of them are really into it. Some are still fluctuating, but I try to help them whichever way I'm guided. So,
Yeah, before I ask more about your community, during those years where people were asking if you have gone insane and not having likes on what you share on Facebook, what kept you going?
yeah, that's yeah. That's a good question. I was a journalist, so I was the one who used to ask questions. Now I'm. This is a good um, because it's trying to go and touch the core of that experience of that human. That you know, yeah. Uh, Honestly, I don't know. I must have been insane, like they said. But even today, these days, when I share with the community, when I talk to them, I tell them, look, I came to this not because I was spiritual.
Mm.
I embraced it not because I was spiritual. I embraced it not because I was convinced by Jesus. No, no. I, I could stick on only because I was helpless. Otherwise, I would have somehow wrestled out of this and gone away. You know, um, I was totally helpless. I was cornered. There was nothing else to do for me. I tried everything. Trust me, I tried. I'm so good at this. I'm quite talented to write in English, Malayalam, design, photography. I've won awards, and blah blah blah, all that. So I tried. I tried everything. When movies didn't work out, I tried publishing books, novel, fiction, thriller, and all. Nothing worked out. And day by day, all those attempts were keeping me impoverished in my heart. And then I knew that this was not working, buddy. This is not working. And at some point, I surrendered. I don't remember when, but and Ramana Maharshi helped, I must say. I don't know
Yeah.
how many of you are familiar with, yeah, but I used to go to see. You needed something tangible. Otherwise, the book was a book, and the book was on the table, and uh, something related. So the most related I could find was Ramana Ashram, and you see, I had a background of being an atheist, a Marxist, so I could not be an ashram person or a satsang person. I still am not. I could not. I tried looking for, even when I was even okay, after the 2012. Those were the days. Actually, I forgot a piece. I was guided to do a self study of Advaita Vedanta.
Mm.
It was after that all this I could pick up course.
Yeah.
I could get it. Before that, yeah. So between the first time I was given and the second time I picked it, Advaita happened.
Mm.
So I went and did some basic. I bought books and did the study. I tried to find gurus and all that. I tried all that trip. See, none of that worked out. So and see, you should know that I am not coming from a metaphysical background. I had not done any reading. I didn't know that there was a pre-birth plan and all that. From that level of spirituality, even that those levels I hadn't covered. There are steps, right? So it's like I was a Christian, but I rejected it, and then I became an atheist, and boom, A Course in Miracles. So now that's like a huge leap for a person with no spiritual companions.
Yeah.
That's where I think Advaita came and helped, and Ramana was Ramana is still a very live, a live presence in me, uh, my mind, and I would tear up. Mm, it was after Maharshi that I could come closer to Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely recognize what I hear, that you can't do anything else but this. It's the same for me. And I do question that a lot. Pretty much every day. It's like, why? And I can't do anything else. And again and again and again. And the ego tells me this is just, nothing. You're living in a fantasy. And yet I cannot not do it. I cannot not allow spirit come through and use my abilities. And this is what I see happens for you from my perspective. Spirit is using your abilities. You have a beautiful community and a beautiful magazine. You are used in such a, I don't know how to put it, well, very well used for being truly helpful, right?
That's
It
right.
feels
That's right.
good. It feels good.
Oh, amazingly good. Oh, what if this hadn't happened? You know, sometimes we have such conversations in the group. Oh, what if it didn't happen? And so I can't imagine what would have happened. So uh, I think the connection after that, after whatever I've told you, all that happened, but the connection started growing, and I could become little more friendlier. It's like a scared child
Yeah.
going near a stranger adult. So, so I was slowly, bit by bit, day by day, um, getting courage, not just from A Course in Miracles. And I was aware of, by then I was aware of Seth material and Ra and all that. Urantia book. So it was Urantia book, particularly the section 4,
Yeah.
which describes the life and teachings of Jesus. After reading that, this was prior to course. Then I thought, oh, this chap was really alive. This chap was there. Jesus was there. So you can see that I was a very bookish guy. So I think the light started giving me books like steps to reach course, and after that I had nowhere to go, and it's there. But the connection grew warmly, and sometime during 2014, 15, 16, I started taking notes because I was being woken up um, 3-ish, 4-ish, and so now I haven't told this to many of my friends, but I have a couple of few diaries full of Spirit's explanation of lessons. Actually, Spirit was helping me learn the lesson, but look at me. I wouldn't go back and read those lessons. I thought, okay, this is to be published. But later on, I recognized my mistake and I went back and started reading them, and then that began to give me more and more courage. Because, for instance, if a student who comes to course, especially when he or she is in that doubter state, can taste the book and look at Helen Schuckman's life and see that there is a huge incompatibility between the person and the book, because the book, and then he or she would recognize that the book would not have come from the person. You know, that is one stage where we start becoming a little more alert to the book. Oh, so those kind of stages. But when the messages start coming through you, that's the next level wherein you become more convinced. Oh, so this can happen. Because the next day you read what has come through you, and my God, did I write this? No way. So these are the ways when you have different, of course, we all have different curriculum. And so mine is like very bookish, right? Words. So I think Spirit is guiding me towards books, writing, and of course the magazine now is coming out. And I think those are the special gifts that he has decided to make use for the world, and happily serving.
I can totally feel that. So can we see it? Can we see the magazine?
I,
I have a copy
I,
there.
yeah, but first I must say that this is not a print version. I mean, we don't have a print version. We only have a PDF version. But one of my members of the community, she was kind enough to take a printout, and so she made a computer printout of this and sent it to me. So this is a preview edition, which means it has only half of the actual pages. There's me, an old photograph of mine, the editorial, and yeah. All right. So see, this is the idea. There'll be Rumi, there'll be I think you can there'll be Rumi, there'll be Ramana, there'll be Buddha. Whoever sheds light into our hearts is part of the course. It's not a course in miracles per se. Here it means the path, path to light, but it also means a course in miracles. But yeah, there's a German festival
Yeah,
report.
there it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and yeah, this is yeah. So anyway, this I still am surprised how this happened, because I lost interest in journalism, and even though for many years I was wishing later on when I got course, I I hope that somebody in would launch a spiritual magazine, and maybe I would be able to contribute. So that wish was there for a few years. Nothing happened, and then I'd let them all go, even my journalism books and all that. So I thought I'm past all that.
And then it
Now,
came back in this beautiful form.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is not calculated. I knew that John Mundy was Mundy or Mundi. I don't know how to. John Mundy. Yeah. He had a magazine, Miracles magazine. I'd seen the copy, and Ian Patrick had one. There was some Holy Encounter was another newsletter kind of magazine. So, but it never occurred to me to Josh, let's have a magazine now that the community does not have something that can match up to the mainstream kind of magazine. I didn't have that kind of left brain ideas. One day I felt like, oh, maybe something PDF, and then I started designing, and it formed like that. And but it was so warmly welcomed, and people came and left there. So whoever needs a free copy of a preview issue, please. I'm on Facebook. There is no other way. Otherwise, you will have to come to www.dailycourse.org/magazine, or you can ping me on Facebook. I'll send you a copy.
I will
And
share the link to your Facebook
okay,
below this
oh,
video so people
all
can
right.
connect
Yeah,
with you.
thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the launch is happening there's no formal launch, but the first issue will come out on September 1st, 1st of September. So it'll be a bi-monthly, and September, October issue will come out. We have Regina Dawn Ackers on the cover, so that's a cover story. And I met Regina in Tiruvannamalai at Ramanashram first time. So we have we have friends. I don't know. We communicate once a while, but she's so friendly to me, at least. So I have huge respect for what she has done. So I thought, obvious choice. The first choice was Helen Schuckman. To put Helen on cover was very obvious for the film. But later on, I felt that we should respect the prophets and prophetesses who are alive among us. We are all prophets. This is not a prophetic age, but still, this is a journalistic way of putting it. I thought a medium who has dedicated her life entirely to serve, I thought I should respect her. So even though she's not a Course in Miracles student anymore, I thought, so this is this is
Yeah.
not about a book. May I just add this as well? the course commune in India, we respect all the books that can, books, persons, songs, movies, whatever, that can point us to truth, that can help us get there. We're not fanatics about any book, any person. I'm not addicted to Jesus, or it's just that we are absolutely committed to the Christ self, the light in everything. So I believe that I don't have an obligation to defend any book, and the book doesn't need our defense. But which is why I read the Course of Love, NTI, The Way of Mastery, or even Ramana books, or so Rumi. For instance, one of the articles in the forthcoming The Launch magazine issue is Holy Quran and A Course in Miracles. Mm. Because I felt that the awakening community inadvertently, not deliberately, inadvertently is not at all looking at Muhammad, the prophet, and what his... see, the lot of clouds and dust around the person, but sometimes we miss the gem, the heart. So I regard all prophets as way showers. They've been showing way, and we have been progressing from there. It's not that we need to go back to any old books, but it's my way of giving a tribute. And a couple of my students who are Islamic scholars, they pointed out to me so many verses in Quran corresponding with, so compatible with the Course verses. So in short, to sum this up, I love to look at the unity of things. We can look for controversy and see that, but from India, the way the DNA of our nativity is that we, historically, when we welcome everyone. And that is one thing that I would love to see among, even though this is, I'm hallucinating. I know I'm teacher, master taught us that we are hallucinating. But still, when we see the course teachers not able to see eye to eye and arguing, the novice in me, the naive learner in me, is still has that wonder. How can anyone argue after you let the Course in Miracles touch your heart? I still can't understand that. So one of the self-assumed missions of the Course magazine will be helping the entire, all the groups in the world to come together. We will do our small squirrels bit, our little part in this.
Beautiful. So before we open up for more questions from the participants, in the course commune, you have online courses, is that correct? You have courses. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes. This is again to do with me. Actually, my activities are divided into 3. Again, I don't know how all this happened, but right now when I stand, there is Course Commune and there is the group. So that's an ACIM study group per se. So, and that's held in Malayalam language because so that's number 1, the Course Commune as a study group. Number 2 is the Course magazine. That is for, that's my service to all around the world. So that's in English, where everyone can come together. And number 3 is what I call as the daily course. That's the website. And I don't know if you're familiar, you must be familiar with LMS. LMS is a learning management system. So that website is to be ahead, to become a kind of a micro school, a micro university of metaphysical courses, helpful courses, but the foundation would be ACIM. So my wish is to have many different tiny courses on ACIM. So people can just sign up and learn. There'll be audio-based courses. So, but that's not yet done. See, I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't know how all this is happening. So, you know, it'll all unfold. But anyway, this is how it stands right now. So you were mentioning about the daily course, the website and the magazine and the study group. So those three other.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. So
Thank you.
let's open up. You can raise your hand like this or raise your hand with the digital hand and have a conversation with Josh. Who would like to answer a question or not answer, ask a question or have a theme that pops out?
I'll just say hello.
Just
I'm
say,
fine with anything. I'm so happy to meet you all anyway, even though I don't know each of you in person, but um, I'm happy because I see my own brotherhood. You have to see a person to believe that, oh, okay, there are more, there are more. My family is so big, and there are people in Sweden. I'm assuming that all of you are from Sweden, or maybe they're from different, I don't know. So, so happy that we're all together in this. At least the destination is same. So,
absolutely. And also, I can translate if you have a question, and I can translate both the question and answer. Marie Lisette is the first one. I will put you in. Let's see how one does this. Maybe. No?
Hello.
Hello. So I can't.
Hi.
I can't put you, Marie Lisette, in the spotlight, but you can
No,
ask.
that's perfectly fine.
but
Hi
her
there.
video is off. Maybe the video is off now. All right. Okay.
Yeah, the thing is that I prefer it that way because I had
Yeah.
a skin cancer tumor removed, so I have a big crater in my forehead.
Perfectly all right, Maria. Technically, I was
Thanks.
asking whether there's something else. And that's okay.
No, it's just that it was just recently done and it looks awful and it scares people. And yeah, anyways, I'm fine. And I'm so happy to hear you talk. And I have a question that actually makes me very ashamed. And I was looking for the question that would make me most ashamed because it's not that uh, I have the same outlook as you, but anyways, here is the question. And I feel like a betrayer. I feel like I betray the whole course, but it has to do with the source of it because we all know now, since Helen Schuckman died, we know that she didn't speak the truth. She did edit words. Although she said at the time that she didn't edit any words, and it wasn't automated script. I mean, the scribing that she took down and all of this. However, we now know after her death, when her notes were released, that what she claimed wasn't true. There is about 7,200 words that she didn't put back the first word. And I know that she had talked about this, but we don't have much recording of her. But to me, sometimes it becomes a problem, sometimes not, since every word, every phrase is so important. I was just curious, how do you look upon that? How do you reconcile that actually her and, I mean, Bill and Ken, and there were many people that were editors, and
Yeah.
but the fact that we want to know, we want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but since she died, I don't know, since 2015, I don't know, I can't remember, or 2009, we know that she actually didn't say the truth in an interview. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Not the per se the specific instance of the interview, but I know where you're coming from. And may I?
And I say to myself, well, I forgive her, and I forgive my ego for even asking the question, and I know that all the writers of the Bible and this happens, and etc. etc. But still, it would be interesting to see how you look upon that. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Marie, for coming up and opening up your mind. And what I understand right now is that this is nothing to do with Helen. So if you can be patient with me.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with book. And I'm talking from my experience here. This question has nothing to do with Helen or the book. This question has everything to do with yourself. And we find our mind is so intelligent, so creative that it can find a million, billion, trillion ways of punishing ourselves, of finding fault and finding the wrong. Even when the door is, you've heard of this Zen metaphor of the half door open and half door closed, or the half glass of water filled and half empty. The mind can actually make us focus on the empty part and tell us that, look, you are meaningless. You are following an erratic path. You are following an erratic prophetess. You are making a mistake. Now let us focus on that error all the time. Let us only focus on the error, while a huge and incalculable, inexplicable largeness and vastness of treasures are on one side. This happens to me as well. Everyone. It's not just Mari is not alone in this. We all do this. And I don't know how far will you be able to accept this, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a mind game. This is the very mind game that A Course in Miracles came for, to help us to deal with, because this is so unconscious. You know, the anecdote, the story I told about myself, I am a very intelligent person. I'm very smart. I'm trained as a journalist. I read books. I'm intellectual. I have an intellectual background. And then how did those 3 books miss from my shelf, and thrillers came into my room and the audios went away? This is the trick that mind does. So if I were in your shoes, I cannot give you advice or show you an answer, but all I can say is from my own light that if I were in your shoes, that I would start looking at what she gave me to help me, rather than what she did not, or maybe you look at all the humans, anyone, Kenneth Wapnick or you, me, anyone, any prophets in the whole Old Testament or the New Testament, I don't know, including maybe Jesus at times, every human is fallible. Every human is imperfect. Jesus himself says that, the Christ's voice says in the book that you're not perfect. If you were perfect, you would not have been here. Helen is not perfect. She wouldn't have been here, and we wouldn't have got the book. I mean, of course, we will get the book, but what I'm saying is that the spirit of it is that the master is asking us to overlook what has been never done. It is not that we look at the pitfalls and keep on falling into the pits again and again, but he is showing us the way to walk away from this world, away from even Course in Miracles. Let's go off the book. You know, I remember this Bill Thetford event. We know that Helen did not practice. We know that Helen had a very miserable time, even towards the end. Maybe at the point of death, she was smiling when they came back and took a look at the body. But before that, she had a very miserable life. In contrast to the life of Bill Thetford. If you remember reading our text, you would see a lot of references from the voice saying that Bill is not ready. You should tell Bill. So, the first time when I came across this, I said, oh, this Bill character is so weak. He's so weak. But you know what happened? He left New York. He went to, I think, a Californian village side or somewhere. But he started practicing the course. He was into it as much as I've read or learned from elders. And he was living the course. And there is this document, the testimonial from Judith Scotch saying what happened when he fell dead, just before falling dead. He was dancing. He was saying that, I'm so happy. He was so happy. So I think, okay, Bill and Helen are the representatives of, let us take as a metaphor, okay, we're not judging those two characters, but representation of our dual mind. Our dual mind. Now we have a choice here. You can either choose to go after the wrong mind, and the person who choose to remain in wrong mind, with all respect to him. Or you have a choice to look at the right mind and the person who chose the right mind. Anything you want, Marie, is in the book. So I think rest of it, we forgive.
Right.
That's my
Thank
part.
you.
That's my part. I'm not saying I'm right, but this is how I look at it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie-Lisette and Josh. Anyone else who would like to ask a question or just talk?
Yeah.
Marie? It's the Maries who is coming.
Hello, and thank you for being with us today. I don't have a question, and I just want to share that I recognize myself so much when I got the book 2013, and I opened it and I said, no, not another Bible. And I put it in the shelf. And then I continue with the work of Byron Katie, but what I wasn't aware about was that the Holy Spirit was working with me with thoughts all the time. And then 2019, I had a personal crisis, and then the book called. I could hear that, yeah, I was ready. And when I opened the book, and when I went into the Arbetsboken, what's that in English?
Preface?
The workbook.
The workbook, yeah. When I opened, I thought, yes, that's like the work of Byron Katie, and I just did all the lessons by myself. And then I heard the call again. I wanted to be in a community, and that's when Anna, she appeared on Facebook in a webinar, and then I contacted her. But I just want to share that oh no, not another Bible.
Yeah.
And how amazing the Holy Spirit works with us, and that was just part of the plan for me to get ready for the next stage. So I just want to share that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. They're all reassurances. All the sharings are again and again, because when we open our windows and we see the world outside, we see something else. And every time we have a million excuses to not to do workbook, or to not to touch the book, or just to walk away from the path. We have so many excuses and reasons. It is then when the brotherhood comes together and shares even a bit of experience, Then they remained on the path. That encourages each of us. That becomes an offering to us all, whatever sharing it does. And giving and receiving becomes bountiful. All are blessed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really, I feel so much more every day. I feel so blessed. I'm so grateful, and I can just feel the blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with everyone. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. So anyone else would like to ask a question or chat a little bit? Connect with India?
Yeah. Anyone have visited India before? Any of
I have.
you have, of course. Any of them? None of them? Maybe you should bring them all to India one day.
I would love to Kerala and to you,
Kerala,
and
Kerala.
to just sit and talk together.
Yeah. Actually, Kerala is very unlike the rest of India. Yeah. The other day, there was another sharing with another community like this, and then when I started describing my place here, they said, "Is that place in India?" We can't believe that. Because people are literate, 100% literacy, and people talk English. Yeah. Anyone you go to, they talk English, and mostly Catholic and communist. A strange blend. You're an expert. Who am I talking this to?
No, just longing to go there. I've never been to Kerala, actually. I've been to New Delhi. Yeah.
Now you have one big reason. We have there are Jalal, Chitra, Arjun. I think 4-5 members are here in Kerala. So if any of you are coming, then we will put together all of them and we'll have fun.
I would love to come, and I'm sure more people in our community would love to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know that this is where we have a very strong tradition of legend, which the Christian church is based on, that St. Thomas came to Kerala in AD 52. So we have a Thomas tradition of church here.
Know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Makes
Yeah.
it even more interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, long ago, when I had messaged Gary Renard after reading the books, I said, "Do you remember coming to Kerala?" That was just fun. So, yeah, there's a very strong tradition which has not been very scholastically disputed, but it is very strong.
Yeah.
There are churches here raised by St. Thomas. They call it Marthoma. There's a tradition called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I had a devil's advocate question in me back then. If the Thomas, the apostle, had visited Kerala, then why did not the Gospel of Thomas circulate here in Kerala?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
I have also met Amma in Copenhagen. I got the hug, the hug in
You got the
Copenhagen
hug.
from Amma. So I would like to visit her hospital. I work at a hospital, so I would like. She has three hospitals. I would like to visit them too.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
Welcome.
Maybe a trip to India then coming up.
Yeah, why not?
All right. I say
All right.
thank you so much, Joshua, for joining us. And thank you, everyone who has joined us in this meeting. And I usually let us know the next speaker, and I don't know. So it was Hakim who introduced me to Joshua, and that's why we are meeting up here. I don't know the rest of the autumn's speakers, but there will be speakers. So I will announce that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Joshua, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to be part of this community for a while, and blessings to all. And I'm seeking your blessings for the community in India and the students. Keep us all in your heart and your prayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye.